Lee, Miss Shadow, and I want to thank you all for joining us today, whether in person or virtually. Lee told me that he did not want a funeral or any other gathering after his death because, quote, no one would come, close quote. That was just like Lee, but he was clearly wrong, which was not at all like Lee, as he was very rarely ever wrong. I would like to take a few minutes to recap Lee's life. Wish me luck in getting through this, so here we go. In the spring of 1944, Lee was born in Roswell, New Mexico. Yes, the home of alleged alien landings, which he would neither confirm nor deny for me. He was the son of a tenant farmer, Maynard Leo Blanton, and his wife, Inez Blanton. Like me, he grew up in the family of two boys, with a brother, Bert, and two girls, sisters Sandra and Joyce. But unlike me, he worked hard in his adolescent years on the farm from an early age. He became active in the local chapter of the Future Farmers of America and served as its president in 1962. His involvement in FFA chapter activities, as well as his scholarship and leadership skills, led him to win numerous awards at various state and local fairs. The award of which he seemed most proud was taking first place in the New Mexico State Land Judging Contest in 1961. He was also recognized for his excellence in welding in 1962 by the James F. Lincoln Arc Welding Foundation, a nonprofit that continues to support the art of welding today. Though Lee clearly exhibited prowess in various agricultural vocational arts, he always said that he was looking for a job that involved, quote, all inside work with no heavy lifting. So after graduating from high school in 1962, he packed his bags and left Roswell for Las Cruces, New Mexico, to attend New Mexico State University. He put himself through college working nights as a switchboard operator in a woman's dorm and later processing film at White Sands Missile Range. I also heard stories of other money-making enterprises, including buying a used house trailer and renting out beds to other students to cover the note on the trailer and then provide him free lodging, all of which was necessary so he could scrape together the money to complete his college education. His pursuit of a college degree was delayed by the need to return home to manage the family farm during his father's illness. But the Lee we all know was not discouraged. He was determined, some might even say stubborn, and eventually he graduated from New Mexico State University in August of 1967 with a Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Engineering. Eschewing job opportunities directly in line with his ag engineering background, including one with John Deere, Lee took a job with Shell Oil Company in September 1967 in Ventura, California. In his entire adult life, I doubt he ever regretted not moving to Waterloo, Iowa, the home of John Deere. Lee met Karen King in 1964 at New Mexico State, and they were married in San Diego, California in November of 1968. Not long thereafter, their son Douglas Wayne was born in September of 1970 in Saugus, California. Lee spoke fondly of many joyous hours he spent with his son that he loved so dearly. Many hours spent water skiing and, of course, rebuilding the infamous 1968 Camaro, and more recently, watching wood-turning videos. Lee was extremely proud as he watched Doug walk across the stage at his graduation ceremony from Texas A&M. But in Lee's own inimitable way, doing his best to hide his inner soft side, he quipped, quote, the National Bank of Dad is now closed, loud enough for all those around us to hear. Lee held a host of engineering positions with Shell over the years and moved from California to Texas to Louisiana and back to Texas. Two of the projects of which he seemed the proudest were his very first project at Shell, where he single-handedly designed a suspension bridge, which allowed pipelines in the California oil field to traverse a major gorge. In addition to being proud at the time of being able to figure out the engineering, he remained extremely proud in recent years as the bridge is still standing and functioning as intended, some 50-plus years later. Another significant accomplishment of which he was extremely proud was in another area where he had no prior experience heading into the project. This was managing Shell's Atlantic Coast Production Group. They set a world record in 1983 by drilling in the Wilmington Canyon in a water depth of 6,448 feet, Yes, well over 1 mile of water, far surpassing the 1982 record of 5,624 feet, set by a French company in the Mediterranean. They were true pioneers who demonstrated the feasibility of drilling in ultra-deep water environments over 6,000 feet, a barrier that many thought could not be crossed. Lee was involved not only in negotiating the terms of the contract for the drill ship and redesigning the drilling rig to operate at far deeper depths, but also ensuring the protection of people and the environment, as well as Shell's investment and reputation. As the division production manager for Shell Western E&P, Lee was responsible for the operation of the then largest tertiary oil recovery project in the world. This involved the injection of carbon dioxide into the oil reservoir to recover oil previously not recovered by either natural forces or the injection of water. In support of this project, Lee's team was involved in overseeing the construction of the Cortez Pipeline, a 30-inch stainless steel pipeline that stretches some 500 miles from southwestern Colorado to Denver City, Texas, and moves 1.5 billion cubic feet of carbon dioxide per day. The pipeline cost in excess of $700 million in 1982 dollars, which equates to over $2.3 billion in today's dollars. His team also oversaw the construction of a plant in Denver City, which allowed the carbon dioxide that was produced along with the oil to be separated, recovered, and recycled. I tell you all of this because I met Lee at Shell when I was providing legal support for various aspects of these projects. Lee became a member of Shell's senior staff when he took the position of Exploration and Production's General Manager for Health, Safety, and Environment in 1990. He then put his computer knowledge to work as Exploration and Production's Chief Technology Officer. Lee retired from Shell in September of 1996, but he was a long way from being retired. In typical Lee fashion, he started work in another job days before his last days working for Shell. After Shell, he was president of Water Door Company, a door manufacturing facility. He created a consulting business and formed Black Horse Energy, an oil and gas production joint venture. I finally convinced him to truly retire in 2015 so we could move to Austin with our 4 cats and oversee the completion of construction of our retirement home. But again, he did not rest on his laurels. He immediately started rebuilding his 1964 Chevelle Malibu, took on the challenges of his 67 GTO, kept up his welding skills, and got damn good at turning wood. In his spare time, he also served as president of our Homeowners Association and subsequent thereto as chairman of its Architectural Control Committee. Working in this brief recap of some of the highlights of Lee's life made me realize all the more what a precious gift it was to have him in my life, and that I loved him simply because of who he was. He was true to himself and never changed who he was for anyone. I believe the truest expression of Lee's love was his investment of his time, whether in helping others or making things he thought they would enjoy. Lee put his heart and soul into this house, so it's fitting to gather today in our home to raise a glass in honor of Maynard Lee Blanton. Mr. Fix-It to many, Mr. IT to some, while to others he was Mr. Corvette, a classic car guy, Mr. Woodworker, welding instructor, or most importantly, brother, husband, dad, grandpa, or my loving partner of 30 years. No matter who he was to you, I do so hope that this incredible man will remain beloved in your heart and mind.